Hey, Pasa Calexico, welcome back to the podcast. Like always, before we begin, I want to start by thanking my sponsors. Thanks Sergio and Jake. Thank you guys for sponsoring the podcast. I also want to thank David Castellum. If you're thinking of buying or selling a home in the Imperial or San Diego counties, make sure you contact David Castellum at 760-235-9576. He's not only a realtor, but an investor with over 20 years of experience, and he will not only sell you property, but teach you along the way in one of the most important investments that you would make. You can also find David on Facebook or just give him a call, 760-235-9576. Also, before we begin, I want to thank everybody out there in the front lines, our doctors, nurses, truck drivers, farm workers, supermarket stock, people stocking our supermarkets, our cashiers, pharmacists, teachers, anybody that's still out there working, that's, keeping us, safe and, trying to be as normal as we can with, when it comes to like groceries and medicine and learning and stuff like that. Also I want to remind everybody to shop local as much as you can. Some of the people who are most affected by this situation, our local businesses. A lot of these people are our neighbors and our friends, so let's try to help them as much as we can. Today's guest is, somebody that I've known since she was little. She was my neighbor back in Las Pichoneras. Today's guest is Michelle Velasquez. Thank you for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's something new for me, but I'm excited.
Yeah, all this is new to us, right? But yeah, I've known Michelle since she was like, I don't know, I want to say like 5 years old. She's now an elementary teacher at in Heber Elementary, and just breaking news, Ale had the baby.
Oh my god!
So Michelle is really good friends with my sister-in-law, and she's in the hospital, and she just had her second little girl. Hey. I don't know if you can see her. Can you see her?
How exciting! Oh my god!
So yeah, we were talking about it right now. We're like, she's probably gonna be born, while we're recording this, and yeah, she was just born. It's crazy, because of all the situation that's going on, and we have a new member of the family. But yeah, going back to Michelle, I've known her since she was a little girl. She's ever since she was little, I can remember she's been really talented and dedicated to whatever she's doing. She was in the mariachi. She played for the Pope back when she was a little girl. And now that she's all grown up, she's a great teacher, and I can see the love and affection you have for your students. And I thought of you because of that, because you're a really good teacher. You can tell you care for your kids, and I wanted to get feedback on you, see how you were dealing with this distance learning that everybody's going through right now.
Thank you for those kind words, Jose. It mean a lot.
How are you dealing? How are you keeping in contact with your kids, with your students?
So I kind of wanted to talk about how the last day that I saw them was, and then I'll start talking about how I've managed to keep communication with them. The last day that we were together, that was when the districts were trying to figure out, the whole county was trying to figure out if we were going to, stop going to school or not. And it was a Monday. And I remember my students were asking, are we going to stop coming to school or not? And then, you didn't want to create that fear in them. They were already getting scared of everything that was going on. And I remember getting a text from our district close to 2 p.m. saying that students were no longer going to come to school. And I remember that last day was just me trying to see if students had their whiteboards, or they had pencils at home, or they had highlighters, or they understood the packets that were given to them, because we gave them 3 packets for work, for 3 weeks of packets. And I just wish I could have handled things differently if I would have known that we're no longer going to be going back to school. Because my last hour with them was just primarily, do you have everything? Who's absent? Who's not absent? Who am I going to have to contact to come pick up the packets? It was just a lot. And after that, parents were sending me, because I do a Class Dojo app, they were sending me messages that some students were struggling with the packets. So I remember that I have an Instagram account just specifically for my students because, kids nowadays spend most of their time on social media. And I figured, why not use social media as an advantage for me and my students? And so thankfully, most of my students were under our Instagram account, and it's just for them. And there I was just communicating with them, asking them what they needed help with. Some of them would send me pictures of the packets. And so I would just record myself guiding them through notes that I created for them. And then I would post them on my story because I know a lot of students probably have the same questions. And then I was introduced to the Zoom app, which is where I get to see them at least 2 times every week. So through Instagram, Class Dojo, and Zoom that I communicate with them.
What grade do you teach?
I teach 5th grade.
5th grade. So it's you think it's because they're a little bit older, it's easier for you to, for them to use technology to get a hold of you and stay in contact?
Yeah, I think it's an advantage. The grade level that I work with, you'd be surprised that some of them are really not too familiar with it, but mostly all of them are. So that was a good thing.
Yeah. And like through these last couple of weeks, have you still kept contact with parents? Parents, do you have any concerns that you haven't been able to address?
Definitely, yeah. It's been I always tell parents that I'm here for whatever they need, because we're all going through the same thing. Parents are also, struggling. And then even the students are sending their parents to ask us questions, and we're just trying to get the answers as quick as we can. I've been shifting from calls to emails to being on a call and being on an email at the same time with the principal, that some parents need a computer, some parents need, whatever reason they need contact with our principal or myself. But yes, I am happy that I've gotten to make contact with parents, and my parents are great, and they're easy to reach out to, and they usually contact me whenever there's something that they need from me.
So have you been able to reach like all of your students? Or?
I want to say that I reached 85% to 90%. But I've spoken to all parents. So some students weren't able to join our Zoom meetings for X and Y reasons. But now coming back from spring break, most of them or all of them should have a device. So that'll make it easier for us to have our meetings.
So your district provided, for those students that didn't have a device, they provided devices?
Uh-huh. When we went out, they sent out a survey for parents to fill out and see if students really needed a device at home.
What's something that you miss the most from being away from the classroom or your students?
Well, primarily my students. I love being around kids. I would always tell my kids, no matter how bad my days are, you guys always seem to magically make my days better. And it's just nice. I miss being around them. We have a routine where every morning we shake hands as they come in. And I love that because I get to see which students are, some of them are upset or some of them may be going through something. And I always tell them, I can read your faces and I know what's going on. We also share good things, and I was always so excited to hear their good things, because I'm not a parent, but I know parents sometimes forget that sometimes students really value the time that parents spend with them. So I used to have a lot of students who would tell me, my good thing was that this weekend I got to see my dad, or my good thing was that yesterday I played a board game with my family. And so you start building connections with the students, and that's what I miss, just being around them, teaching them, physically being there for them, just laughing with them in the middle of my lessons because they just made me laugh. So yeah, I miss my students a lot.
Yeah, I bet because I know how much, from your social media, I know how much you interact with them, and how you make it fun for them. You try to make it fun for them as much as you can. Knowing that some 4th graders that are coming back next year are going to be a little bit behind, how do you think you're going to, address that or work with that?
I've been giving a lot of thought to that because I have a wonderful group of coworkers, my team, they're just amazing, and we're always just trying to talk about that. And I just think that every school year when students come back, they seem to come to school like they've never been to school. So it's always like a fresh new start. So I just think it's important as teachers to remind ourselves that to always have high expectations of students and set, routines and procedures, work on the foundation skills such as reading, writing, analyzing, because all that embeds to all subject areas. And, when we start a school year, we usually start reviewing standards from the previous grade. Our California standards seem to obviously carry on to each other at every grade level. So I think we'll be okay. We'll be okay. I know students will definitely come with that motivation when they come back to school, because I hope they've missed school so much that they're just going to give it their all when they come back.
Yeah, I think this year is gonna be different in that sense that I think everybody's gonna be like ready to go back to their normal schedule and
even us.
Yeah, to me it's been hard being here and not feeling productive, and this is a way for me to kind of like feel like I'm doing something. But yeah, because I work at Calexico Unified School District, and I don't really know much of how the Heber School District is handling this. Do you know if they're still offering like counseling, or because I know here in Calexico they're offering the counselors are available, nurses are available, cafeteria is still available. How's Heber handling all that?
So I want to say that we're grateful, and I'll do a shout out for Mrs. Rosa Nava. She's our counselor at Heber Elementary School. She's amazing. And she created a Google Classroom for all students to join her class if they, she's trying to get them all in. And it's important to have that because some students who really work with her, they need that. So she offered to have the class further for those students. And when I shared it with my 5th grade class right before spring break through our Zoom meeting, I saw that a lot of them smiled. And I think that brought that comfort, knowing that she's also there for them. She even offered to come to join one of my Zoom meetings when I have a Zoom meeting with my students, to just kind of remind them that she's also there. She's great with the students. The students really love her, and I think that makes a great impact. And while all this is happening,
have you been? Do you as teachers are you guys meeting like to like share ideas and whatnot?
Oh yes, very frequently. Just before spring break, my team and I were so close and we're so comfortable around each other that it'll just be like, hey, can we have a meeting like right now? And it'll be like 4 p.m. and we'll just call each other and have our meetings. We'll have fun like we usually do, but we also discuss the important things that need to get done. And it's just so I actually miss my coworkers now because it's been a week since we haven't had like our meetings. But we'll be back on Monday.
Yeah. And was Google Classroom something that you already used in class?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So this year I started using more technology in the classroom, and I started using a lot of Google Classroom because it was just easier for me and for the students. And grading essays, it's all done electronically, and it's just I would always tell my students that it's just good preparation for college. Everything in college is online, and why not start them young? And so when we shifted to distance learning, when I told them, we're going to be primarily using Google Classroom, they were like, oh, they felt that sense of relief that they're already good with it. They already know how it works. So I'm glad I implemented that in my classroom earlier this year.
Yeah. And, you mentioned that, a lot of, colleges and universities, use this kind of platform. It's something that from the teachers that I've been talking to is something that they kind of see as a positive, that, they'll kind of be ready to, either if they go to college and they don't want to go to a class in person, they can always take an online class and they're already prepared. they're learning skills to like manage their own time, do things at their own. So that's a positive that it's been that I've heard from talking to these teachers in the last couple of days. And yeah, it's because we're all trying to learn something from this. And at the end of the day, that's something that we can all learn, that especially there's teachers that didn't really use technology or Google Classroom, and they were kind of forced into it now. And even a teacher I spoke to, I think it was last week, she said that she's like, oh, you would have been proud of me because I'm doing this all on my own. And she's like, oh, I should have used it since day one, because it's made things so easy. And I know that next year when I'm back in the classroom, it's going to make things easier. Because yeah, I mean, like you said, you don't have to, everything's graded electronically, and you don't have stacks of papers. And especially if you're like an English teacher, where you have to read essays and stuff. But yeah, if there's any of your students or parents that are listening or watching, do you have anything you want to tell them?
That I'm so proud of them. My students have been really patient with this whole shift. And like I always tell them, you're not alone. We're all in this together. It's something new for all of us. And I think that it's just important to know that, like I always tell them, I'm here for them. Whatever time you need to talk, I'm available. We'll get through this. We'll be back in the classroom. Maybe not in my classroom, but I'll get to see them at school. And we'll think back and we'll remember it and maybe laugh about it once it's all over. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you might not be in the same classroom, but you'll see them on campus, because Heber is up to 8th grade, right?
Yes. 4th through 8th.
4th through 8th. Oh, okay. That's what you're teaching. I don't want to cut you so fast, but you have I want to go talk to Ale and Alonso. But it was nice seeing you. Thank you for sharing a little bit what you're doing and how you're handling this, and like I said, we're kind of like friends because we see each other. But
yeah,
it was nice seeing you too. Like I said, I've been using this also as a way to kind of like see everybody that I haven't seen in a while. It's hard for us as a family, like we like to always get together and stuff like that. So that's one of the biggest things that we've kind of like we're dealing with, the fact that we can't hang out, and most of the times you were with us when we would hang out. So it was nice seeing you. Say hi to your mom, and you guys take care and wash your hands.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I think that I really enjoy this opportunity because I just feel like it makes other teachers feel like we're not alone. We're all going through the same thing. We're all facing the same challenges. And like you said, some teachers have never been working with technology, and it's a difficult shift, but I know it's not impossible. And now that it's been a month that we've been out of school, I can say I feel more comfortable moving into distance learning than when I just recently found out. So I think that it's just, thank you. It's a great opportunity for all the Imperial County teachers and teachers everywhere to know that, there's going to be moments where we're very stressed out and we're trying to fulfill every gap we can, involving both parents and teachers and students. But I know that we're not alone, and we can all come to each other for support. So. Yeah, definitely. And I think it's something that I've noticed from everybody that I've been talking to, is that everybody's working together. Like I said, I'm glad that people and teachers especially are really familiar with Zoom now, because it's a great tool to get to meet. And even though we're not together, we still feel like we see our faces, and we it sometimes like it brings a smile to your face, and to know that we can see each other even though we're not together. But it's awesome to see everybody working as a group collaboratively, and working for a good cause, our students and our kids. Yeah, it just brings that peace of mind and comfort that we all need during these times.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, Michelle. It was nice seeing you. I want to go see the baby, and
Yeah.
I think they were talking right now. So thank you so much for taking this little time, and you guys take care, like I said, and we'll see you soon.
Take care and enjoy this time with your family.
I will. Thank you.
Bye, Jose. Thank
Bye.
you.
Take care.
You too.